Hello. Uh, what are your suggestions? What should we do? Currently, only 5 in the room. Okay, we have a 6-1. So we have waited for 12 minutes already. What are your suggestions of our way forward?
Hi, Daniel. How many are we supposed to be?
All the participants, I think, are over 20 in the course.
Over 20. So there's no one joining behind Team Namibia and Mozambique. Are they no? Are they not joining as a team?
I see Team Yan. Are they okay? They are joining as a team.
I don't know. Maybe you can ask them.
Team Yan, are you a team or you are one person? And then there's also Moz handling. How many
Okay,
are you
morning,
there?
sir.
Yes.
Morning, everyone. At the moment, it's me. I believe Miss Olivia already gave her apology. She is traveling today, so she's on the road. With Vivian, I will communicate with her now if she's able to join, because she's on the other side of the town on a training. I'll follow up with her now. But currently, right now, I'm alone here.
Okay.
All right.
I guess we should start. Okay. So you are welcome to this session. Okay. There are just a few things I would like us first of all to look at. One, I would like to hear from you your experience with the orientation. The orientation was supposed to be 1 week, but I think we started a little early, to the course. Then, so within the orientation to the course, I think there was 4 activities to be done.
Daniel, you're breaking.
I'm breaking.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Maybe my internet is breaking. Am I still breaking?
No, you're clear now.
Okay. So then we had the beginning survey reflective journal. Okay. So in the first part, I would like to hear from you what were experiences, concerns, sent out key results of the survey which we did, the analysis. So I want to hear from you survey results. What key things are coming out for you? Of course, it has a lot of implications on young Africa. It has a lot of implications on how we intend to move forward. It also, of course. So I would love to hear from you first, okay, about your key takeaways. Then I will express also my key takeaways, what I picked from the survey. Then lastly, would look at the work in the next module, okay? The first week was orientation. Now the course starts this week. And the first module is Introduction to the e-learning platform. It is going to take us 2 weeks. Now, when you check in your course page, I have made visible the work we have to do for this week. The work for next week is not yet visible. So I will give you some guidance on how to go through this week's work. So those are the 3 things we really would like you to look at. Hear from you, then we together look at the results of the survey, what are its implications, then I give you some guidance on the work for this week, okay? So on your side, okay, you can mute and reflect. What are your reflections, questions, concerns, okay, suggestions arising from the orientation week? Please, I'm waiting to hear from you. Okay. You unmute and then you make your suggestions or queries. Eileen, you have something?
No, I have nothing. For me, I think the course was straightforward. So I don't have any questions or issues.
Anybody else?
For me as well, I didn't have any challenges. Like Irene said, I think it's so far so good. It's straightforward. The instructions are clear, and it's easy to follow.
Okay.
Sorry, I can also add. I was on the line with the inquiry. With me, I can say the whole guidance in how to use the platform. For me, it was also quite clear for me. I believe last year when we were piloting, also doing it with the students, I just noticed that perhaps I just struggled because I was trying to look for the capacity building. And only when Irene directed me that I should just reach out to Mr. Daniel. So that is when I could really see that capacity building. So the other past days I was like, where is the capacity building? Where was it? But yeah, I got my way around it. The introduction was very clear, and then also on journaling my way as I go through the platform. So I had no struggles at all. I believe it will also be very clear if we keep it that simple also and very guiding to do well.
Okay. Anybody else? Richard, did you have anything to say?
Daniel, for now, no.
Okay. So then we can move to the next item, okay, which is really reflecting on the results of the beginning of course survey. I sent this one to all of you in the morning. but I'm going to share my screen. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see this? What do you see on my screen? On the screen?
It is showing the results.
Are you able? Okay, fine,
Actually,
fine. Okay. So I tried to pick from the analysis. Okay, maybe let me just go into the course and see. So for instance, as a facilitator in this course, okay, and other people who have at least the role of manager, I think also Irene, you were able to see the analysis on, okay, in your course page, but let me just go there. So for you as students, you really don't see this analysis, but the teachers and the facilitators who facilitate the course should be able to view the analysis of the survey. And when you get to the analysis of the survey, this is what came out. Okay. So in terms of those questions where you had to choose, it was drawing the graphs. Okay, for instance, like if I take this one here, question 12, if you say students in an online environment, okay, there are 7 people who said they are somehow confident. One person said not very confident. You find 5 said very confident, and so on. So you get the analysis of the survey. Now the tool which is used within the course, I would show you the tools. We call it feedback, okay? So one of the tools within the course, I would indicate where it is. We have a feedback tool. Which feedback tool you can use to get, if you want, and I think for every course we should have, before people begin the course, okay, we should have a beginning of course survey, which is the baseline for the course. And then at the end, we should have an end of course survey. Okay, from that one, you should be able to get what has been the impact of the course. Okay, so when you get down, now there are questions. Okay, you could even, the tool can give you more details if you can't read the graph properly. You can show the chart data, okay, which is really where it indicates, like for this one here, what is your biggest expectation for this course? You said to gain a comprehensive understanding of the YA e-learning platform. The responses were 10 and calculates the percentage. Okay. Then when you get to the open-ended questions where you had space to type, okay, it would indicate the responses of the people. So that's how, when you use that tool properly, that is what you get. So let me stop sharing this. Let me go back to I am back to the Word document. Are you seeing the Word document?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So because, okay, most of you, or because the students don't have access to this tool, okay, and most of the participants within this course are students, but after next week, after week 3, you are going to be elevated to the level of a teacher. So what you'd be seeing on your course page is going to be different. Now, because most of you with your current role of a student couldn't see this, so that's where I just picked that information, okay, which is in the Word document from that analysis, okay, and so I guess you have looked at those other percentages from the document which I have sent you, and there are also issues to do with, okay, suggestions from people, okay, like for instance, what makes an e-learning technical and vocational education and training course effective? You said engage, interactive and engaging content, immediate feedback to assignments, peer-to-peer learning and knowledge sharing in the forums, hybrid courses, environment for participants, structured courses with clear learning outcomes to provide a sense of direction. You talked about flexible, independent learning, regular live check-in of the participants. Like now, every week, what we are doing now is assessment to make the students pay more attention to what they are reading, learning, or watching. Group projects where learners can work as a team to learn from one another, create practical-based assignments, use instructional videos to demonstrate practical procedures, access to good internet, prepare. Should be proper preparations. Piloted, tested, and ready to use platforms, competence-based. Okay. Then you talked about e-learning platform should be usable and accessible. Some course should be able to be done offline. Then the other open, oh, sorry. Let me shift to another internet connection here. Sorry, this one looks to be unstable. Do you hear me? Or I shift to another internet connection?
You're loud and clear, Daniel.
Oh, then there was another question where we were saying, what specific skills and knowledge are you hoping to gain from the course? And this is what came out, being into the design and the development of the e-learning platform, internet researching skills, ability to facilitate, activate courses in online environment, how to interact and provide guidance to online learners, how to create the grading loop for all the assessment those in creating course materials, by a center, learning timetables. Then let's get on. Right, how to mark and grade assignments of the students, how to back up the uploaded courses, how to translate courses in other languages. Okay, you want to be able to facilitate online courses in a TVET environment, how to submit assignments, how to make timely you want to gain timely communication skills, managing, administering the e-learning platform, skills to navigate and use the platform, system and debate tool, how to interact with the learners and provide guidance to the students during the course, how to create interactive content, okay? And then there's also, because interactive content doesn't necessarily mean to be audiovisual, okay? You could have interactive word content, text content, but there's also interactive and engaging audiovisual. Then the other open question was on suggestions, concerns for success. Okay. So this is what you suggested. If this is going to succeed, that course material should be downloadable for offline reading. Okay. Then participants should receive certificates upon successful completion of this course. We should consider the visual appearance of the course environment, consider making the visual appearance of the course environment more appealing for the course. Okay, maybe I don't understand. Okay, it could have been, maybe we need to specify, make the course more interactive through the use of videos, audios. Then there was put a translator to help those who are not conversant with English or to other languages. There's need to make the registration process easier, especially knowing that some of our students are not able to use gadgets. There was accreditation issues. Then one was asking what would be the value of the certificate that would be obtained. Then Young Africa targets vulnerable young people. Will they manage to navigate the system or afford to get the devices so that they can use for interaction. Y8 e-learning platform being ready. Okay. So okay. So having read through the survey and even what you have, that's what came up. The survey can only be good as us who generated it, all of us generated it. Okay, and I think we are given an opportunity to put our voice to the development of this platform. So I want to hear from you. What were your, sorry, again, and were from the key results of the survey? Can you unmute and then you? Hello? I'm sorry, my internet had gone off. I've changed it to another connection. Do you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Daniel.
Yes.
Okay. So it went off when I had passed the mic to your side. Okay. So what is really coming out for you as coordinators, as administrators, as M&E personnel or as Young Africa in general? Okay. What is coming out of this baseline survey for the course? What do you think you need to, where you need to pay attention? Okay. What advice would you give to the people who are putting up the platform, okay, the courses and so on? Anyone can start.
Okay, I think I can start. Based on what I've also been reading from what also came out from our feedbacks, I can agree to say that on the part of showing a little bit more visual would really be more helpful for our platform, because people relate better also when they can see visual pictures, visual videos, or anything that's visual, anything to aid their understanding and increase their better relation to the content that is being put out there for them. Another one, I think, on the, is it like not really the language, but I could also add that perhaps we can also have one where it can read out, or maybe audios. Yeah, audios, not necessarily like videos, but just an audio at some of the parts. Audio will also do. I think those are my few things.
We need feedback from the others. Irene, you have any feedback? Most the team, do you have any feedback? Hello? Richard, do you have any feedback?
Thank you, Daniel. I could just make some comments on individual points, questions you have raised, you have outlined for them to answer. That's okay. Number two, the question was, how will you rate your current level of experience with Moodle or other e-learning platform? Most of them say it's intermediate. That's about 46%. Then there's beginners of 23. Advanced only 15.2. So based on this, it will mean that most of them, from what I see, need more support. Maybe I could, if you don't mind, I could just ask them, based on this particular number 2, what does it actually mean for the participants? Do they see a need to maybe have more face-to-face support, as they seem to suggest? Okay, that is just my thought on it. Number 3, that what motivated you to enroll in this course? Over 53% say to improve their skills in online course design. Then 46 talked to learn more about Young Africa. My personal conclusion from this is that we have a highly motivated team that wants to learn and improve their their skills, which I think is something very, very good and encouraging. I also looked at number 5, that how do you currently integrate technology into your teaching or course design? Now here, up to over 53, actually 53.9% said, I occasionally use digital tools as supplements. 23% said rarely. And then 7.7% said, I have not yet integrated. So to me, it means most of them have not used technology so much for to integrate. So I'm wondering what this implication means. Does it mean people need more face-to-face support? Because I imagine if you have not been using technology so much, I'm thinking that you may have challenges online. You may need it more face-to-face. However, I'll leave it to the participants maybe to answer that. If anybody can answer that, I'll be happy. Number 6 says, what do you perceive as the biggest challenge of implementing e-learning in TVET? Almost 70% said lack of technology infrastructure like computers, smartphones, and internet. I find this very serious, given that we seem to have people who are highly motivated, and yet here we're seeing lack of equipment. It's now ringing in my mind. There are probably plans of young Africa to deliberately take steps to equip the institutions, or for the people personally to see how to, you know, empower themselves in terms of having access to technology or owning them themselves, because I see that a big issue there. Number 7 says, how do you expect this course to impact your approach to TVET course design and training? Up to 61% said significantly transform my approach. 23 said enhance my existing methods with new insights. Then 15% said I'm not sure yet, and 0 said offer a few useful tips. What I'm seeing is, again, a strong desire to improve and transform professionally, which I find, again, very, very encouraging. So I may not, okay, number 13, it says that, what do you think is the most effective way to assess students' learning in an online TVET course? 0 were in support of traditional quizzes and exams. Over 75%, actually 76% said practical assignments and projects. And then when it comes to peer assessment and review, it was 0. And then 23% talked of participation in discussions and activities. I find something very encouraging. It seems to indicate that in Malawi, maybe, okay, wherever the people participating in this thing come from, it gives an idea that competence-based curriculum and teaching seem to have taken root in the areas where they are, which I find something very encouraging. There's that move away from the traditional way of teaching, and it seems to have come to accept and embrace competence-based learning. But I'll be happy to have that confirmation from the participants. And then 14 says, how important is mobile access to e-learning materials for you and your students? Over 90% said extremely important. So what I see is there's high approval for rating for mobile learning, which again, I find very encouraging. So those are my observations, Daniel. On a whole, I see that there's high drive to really embrace technology. There's high drive to go to embrace, or actually people have embraced the competence-based learning, which I find very positive. But again, it seems there's a need to empower people by having access to, or maybe even owning the required technology for them to be able to participate. Thank you.
Okay. Any other person? Irene, do you have, okay, what is standing out for you as the coordinator of this project from the base from the beginning of course survey?
Then as she processes, maybe what I can take note of is the number of participants. There are
Sure, you do that. Okay. So anybody else who has something, what is coming out from the baseline, from the beginning of course survey?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you.
Okay, Honest from Zambia. Hello.
Hello, I
Okay,
hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Though I had a bit of a challenge with the network here, but I was able to join in. I think from the few things that I've heard that people are saying, like on my own, from my end, I think one of the things that I observed is that these online from the survey, what I noticed is that it's something that gauge the knowledge of maybe the participant on how much you understand the program and how much you are able to participate from that end. And of course, the other thing is that I've also learned that from the survey that mostly it for online learning needs to be more interactive for people to freely participate, and so that the learners may not miss the points as you learn. So those are some of the things that I noticed from the survey, and of course just getting to know how to maneuver around the online learning, basically those. I think that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Anybody else who has something to say? Chere, you are taking care of what is coming up in the chat room.
let me see the latest. I saw some postings.
Okay, as you do that, let me share what came out for me. Okay, and some of the things I think we need to take care of. Do you see my Word document?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So when I tried to look at the results, quite a number of things came out for me. One was about half of the course participants, that was 46.2%, in the course rate their current experience with Moodle and other e-learning platform as intermediate. Okay, now why the question was asking their experience in Moodle. It was because this e-learning platform, the Young Africa e-learning platform, is based on a Moodle learning management system. Okay, so if one has already some experience in a Moodle learning management system, he would find this one very easy. Okay, because apart from the few, okay, customization that this thing is here, then it is there, most of the functions and functionalities in Moodle, any Moodle learning management system, they are the same. They are only in different locations. And you'd find that most of the universities and so on use a Moodle learning management system. Okay. The other bit was other e-learning platforms. Okay. Now, our first task when we are given, I think, within our contract, our first assignment was to review, okay, the existing platforms which were used by different Young Africa centers and so on, okay? And some of them were not, okay, because we would ask, yes, can you give us logins into these platforms, okay? And we really found, I remember some of them were just like Google Meet, okay? Wika, just video, okay? Video platforms and Zoom and so on. Those are the platforms which many people may be talking about, okay? And this platform is totally different from those. So from my perspective, having done some work to review, okay, what platforms Young Africa was using, I don't take so much this intermediate level. I don't give it so much weight, okay? Because this platform is totally different from most of them, okay? From Google Meet, from Microsoft Team, and so on and so on. So if the question, for instance, had only stopped at their current experience with the Moodle e-learning platforms, then I would take this percentage of 46.2 at intermediate level more seriously. Then the other thing we came out for me, okay, that the two biggest motivations for participants in enrolling in the course are to improve their skills in the online course design and delivery, and then two, to learn more about the e-learning platform functionalities, which was 46.2. I really think that it is extremely important. The second one is extremely important, okay? We as the consultants, we have put up this platform. The platform is really complex and there are so many functionalities within the platform, okay? So in fact, I would have expected, like the 46.2%, I think is good, but I think it should be much higher, okay? Because if you don't know how to use the functionalities, then it would be impossible to implement the e-learning using the platform. Then three, okay, over half of the course participants, 53.9, have never designed or delivered an e-learning or branded course, okay? So that one really gives it to us that one, we need, and if you have checked in the about the course, I think around week 5, week 6, okay, that is where we have areas where you'll be designing some of these courses and building up the courses. So some component is going to be put in this course, but this is just an 8 weeks course. So again, Young Africa, even beyond this course, will have to plan, okay? How do you build the capacity of the coordinators? How do you build the capacity of the trainers to designed to deliver, because they are not only going to be delivering. Okay. I know within the our assignment, we have about 14 courses to deal with. Okay, there would be new courses. There, I think you deliver over 43 courses. Okay, so it is extremely important to plan even beyond this training we are going to give to the trainers and so on, for Young Africa to train for further capacity building in that area. Okay, number 4, about 1/3 of the participants, okay, 30.8% rarely or never use technology in their teaching. Again, that gives you also a starting point. The trainers we are going to train, okay, in 8 weeks, the training won't be really enough, okay? So there's really need to promote the use of technology in the delivery of the courses. Good enough, some of your centers have got, I think, an ICT component, okay? And maybe from what I have seen, you have training students in Microsoft Office. Maybe those centers also need to have a program, technology capacity building program for the staff, for the coordinators, for the trainers. Okay, if we are going to have, you are going to have successful implementation of e-learning. Okay. Then number 5, what came out for me from number 5 was that most participants perceive lack of technology infrastructure like computers, smartphones, internet are the biggest challenge of implementing e-learning in TVET courses. Okay. Surprisingly to me, only 7.7% of the participants perceive resistance to change as the biggest challenge. Okay. Only 7.7% of the participants perceive ensuring quality and effective online training as the biggest challenge. And only 15.4% perceive lack of skills in e-learning course design and delivery as the biggest challenge. Okay. Now, I want to share my experience with the some of the e-learning consultants we have done. Okay. From the surface, you really find that people look at the technology, just the technology. Okay. And say, if we have this technology there, if we had smartphones, if we had computers, if we had this, then I think everything is going to be smooth. In my view, technology is the easiest to solve. Okay, because there you really just need to go and buy. Okay, if you are just saying centers, you can write a proposal, then you get funding and you equip the centers with. So yes, it is a challenge, but out of all of those, that is the easiest to solve. Okay. There's the challenge of resistance to change. To me, it is one of the biggest challenges, and people resist changes for a number of reasons. Okay. That's why all organizations want to implement e-learning. Okay. That's why all organizations want to implement e-learning has to put in place change management. How are you going to manage this change? Okay. And I want to share with you some of the experiences we have had in some of these consultants. There's a big organization, okay, big institute in Uganda, okay, which was offering face-to-face training. Okay. So then they wanted to move to e-learning. Okay. Now to paint for you a picture. Okay. This is Uganda Management Institute. Okay. You have you would have lecturers coming in the evening, they are paid per hour, and so on and so on. They had very fast internet connection. They said, okay, with all this fast internet connection, let us set up some centers across the country. Okay. I just happened to be sometime back, not now, but sometime back, one of the consultants on the team. So we developed the platform for them and so on and so on. Now, when it came to, there are two things now. One, when it came to how were they going to be paid? The face-to-face trainer. I don't know how you pay your trainers. Okay, maybe you pay them per hour and so on. Now, when they asked, okay, when we talked about from face-to-face trainers who are paid on contact facilitators, the management could not answer the question of how they are going to be paid because it required quite a lot of other work. Okay. So they failed to convince the lecturers at that time. Okay. I don't know now whether but at that time it was around 2006. And that was the end of the e-learning initiative. Okay. I just want to share with you, okay, so that you reflect on this. Let me share my screen again. What the role of an e-learning facilitator is. Okay. Right. So I want you to compare it with the trainers under your centers, the trainers of Young Africa. Okay. What are their current role? How much, or what is your way? How do you pay them, and payment process, whatever methodologies and so on? These are the people we are going to train. Okay. And maybe the assumption is that, okay, when these people are trained, they undergo training, then they become online facilitators. I'd really imagine that, yes, some may, but others may fail to become the online facilitators. Okay. So, for instance, the responsibility of online facilitators, like what I'm doing now, okay, within this course, I'm leading the facilitator, the lead facilitator. What are my responsibilities? What are the responsibilities of the online facilitator? One is to troubleshoot technical problems encountered by the learners. Okay. One can't log in, one can't do this, one can't do this, I don't see this, I don't whatever, I don't know how to submit, I don't know whatever. That is one of their roles. 2, guide learners through the course material and assignments. 3, address questions and concerns from learners promptly. Ensure no learners are left behind. Okay, some learners would be left behind. You have to make sure, how do we get these learners? Okay, you have seen me struggling to get learners in the course, first of all, during the orientation. Then you have, yes, there are people who are in the course but quiet. How do you get them talk in the course? There are people who are in the course but feel lonely. Okay, they submit and then nobody is responding. Okay, they submit good. Okay, one, we asked you to, we requested Aideen to have some people from Namibia and Mozambique participating in this course. Okay, maybe they are more comfortable with Portuguese than in English. So you have these learners. What do you do? Okay, so yes, they feel, you as a facilitator, you have to see how to deal with them. Okay, when they started submitting, even during the introduction, you would see that yes, some really needed more support. Okay, with the language issue. Others submitted in Portuguese, and then the other participants within the course were ignoring the Portuguese submissions. Okay, so as a facilitator, you say, now, what do we really need to do? I hope you have seen that though in my earlier communication emails to you was only using English, okay? The communications now you receive have both Portuguese and then you have English in them, okay? For instance, let me just give you an idea. So when you look at, let me just check the email which I sent out just this morning. Right, just this morning. Right, so you can see the first bit, yes, I have attached this in English. Where's the one for? Hey, did I just send out English alone? It should have had also. Hey, why don't I see the other bit? Maybe I will use another example. Okay. So you have now to think around, what do we do? Okay. With people, yes, their problem is not, they want to submit, but maybe they have a challenge with the language. So how do you deal with them? Okay. I will show you that we have, even now, we have a translator, okay, on the platform. I will show you that one, where it is. Let me take, let me get something here. Okay, right. So this was in one of the in one of the introductions, okay? So we have a participant who introduced, this is in Portuguese. The other participants don't know Portuguese, but we need this person not to be left behind. So how can we be inclusive, okay? So one of the things is that is where we have a translator, okay? And I want to take you where that translator is. So we have, let's get copy here. Now, on the platform last time, our tech person came in. You remember, he just, for a few minutes, and we talked about this AY e-learning, frequently asked questions. Of course, we spent quite a bit of time debating around what the name should be and so on. But what has been integrated here, we have ChatGPT has been integrated in the platform, okay? Which is at this point, so that now, if you find there's a participant who is having a challenge, okay, or other people are really not responding to this person because of the language, then if I ask ChatGPT to translate this, what I'm copying here, this is just ask it to translate from Portuguese to English. Okay, I just copy the post the participant has made, get back here to our AI and place it at this point. Okay, and press enter. Okay. So you can see, okay, the introduction this person made. Okay. Then I, as a facilitator, then I write my response in English. Okay. Because for me, I don't know Portuguese. Then use the translator to translate it to Portuguese, and then respond to this particular person. Okay. Again, so even the other participants, this is really what we are expecting them to be doing in the course, okay? Because you don't want someone not to respond to you because maybe have used the English and is not comfortable with English, is comfortable with Portuguese, or you don't want the Portuguese participants not to participate actively because you are using English. Okay? So when you look at, I get back here. So as I said, the online facilitators have really to think, how do we deal with this issue? We don't have to leave any learners behind simply because of a language issue. Then they are supposed to provide the timely feedback to the learners' work. They are supposed to assess and grade learners' work based on the assessment criteria provided, okay, within the course. And each activity in the course has an assessment criteria. Okay. One of the things we have noticed is that some of you haven't completed any activity, maybe because you didn't see where the assessment criteria is. Let me go to the course and just indicate to you. So when you look at the again, I said navigating in the course, if you don't know exactly where you are, you just need to come back here to this point. This is Young Africa, e-learning capacity building, just an abbreviation. and then you get back here. Okay. Now, when you look at all of the course items, they have to do, okay? I noticed that most of you did not look at this to do. If you clicked here to do, it would indicate you what you needed to do for you to be considered to have completed that activity, okay? So for instance, when you look at this is activity for this week, there's a forum there where there's navigating the transition to e-learning at Young Africa, okay? So on the left hand, on this side here, you read, okay? For you to be considered to have completed this activity, you must start one discussion, you must post 2 replies, okay? I have seen some of you did not, okay, posted your introduction, but did not reply to anyone. So as far as the system is concerned, you haven't completed that activity, okay? For instance, here, when you look at the forum activity, one of the activities we had, welcome to e-learning course, introduce yourself. There are 3 things you must do for you to have been considered to have completed. You must view the activity, you must start one discussion, you must post 2 replies, minimum, okay? One bit which most of you haven't completed is this one. Reflective journal entry, my initial course judgment. For the system to consider you to have done this work, you must first of all you must have viewed that activity, you must have received a grade from the facilitators, okay? And if I can go into here, let me see, going into here. Now, for reflective activities, you find that this is an interaction between you and the facilitator, okay? So it is only the facilitator who sees these entries you are making, where you are making your reflection, unlike in the discussion forum. Now I can see there are 5 entries. Okay, let me go there. Right. So I can see people who completed Irene. Now, as a facilitator, you have to respond to each one of them, okay? So someone reflects, okay? Then a number of these activities within the course are graded, okay? So then you write your feedback to that reflection. Now, for reflective activities, and even in this week, you have one reflective activity, you would find that there's an assessment criteria which the facilitator has to look at. So when you're assessing this assessment criteria, your reflection journal will be assessed and graded based on the following: evidence of engagement with the learning activity, demonstration of thoughtful reflection on all the required activities, the goal setting, practical, are they practical, the goals you have set? Then the facilitator needs to look at that one, read through here, okay? Then makes his comments, but then also looks at based on the assessment criteria which is given to the facilitator, how do you score this person? Okay. Is it 0? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it whatever? And so on. Okay. Then when you click on the score and save, this person will receive, would be able to see this grade. Okay. But one thing about this tool where we have reflective entry, the student can come back and change the reflection. Okay, can edit. As a facilitator, you have to come back and read. Okay, because now when the student has edited the reflection, your previous comments are no longer useful. You have now to put new comments and change the grade. Okay. So I have to reach, okay. I can see Joseph here. I can see Honest. Okay. Yeah, I can see all these people here. This work the facilitator has to do, and there are many of them, all of them. Just imagine you have 100 students, and this facilitator has to respond to all of them and grade them. Okay, and they keep on changing their feedback. Okay, let me get back here. So the facilitator also has to foster discussions, collaboration, and peer-to-peer learning and knowledge sharing. Okay, has to address the questions and learners promptly. It has to monitor learners' progress and provide additional support. You should have noted that even when we use the forum, when the facilitator responds, sometimes he uses private, when he uses a private response, then the other people within the forum don't see it. The facilitator is supposed to maintain, okay, to monitor learner progress. Maybe I would spend quite some time around here, okay? How do we monitor progress? Okay, how students are moving on. He monitors everybody, okay? Maintain respectful, inclusive learning environment, and ensures the learners follow the etiquette. So there are so many things we are really expecting from this, the facilitator has to do, okay? And the facility, this I have indicated here, I will share this document with you. That's when I complete this session, because it is extremely important. So you also have to look at what are the skill set which is required for the people who are going to facilitate these courses. Knowledge of the subject matter, there's no problem with that. Communication skills, technical proficiency, your online facilitator should be comfortable with using all of the tools on the e-learning platform, time management, interpersonal skills, problem-solving ability, and so on and so on, okay? So to me, what really happens is that, and that is one of the reasons why we wanted to train you first, the top leaders, before we train the trainers, okay? Because once they realize that now this is going to require them, is too much work required from them. Some are going to resist the change. Others are going to say, no, we can only do that work when you have tripled my salary, and so on, okay? So in my view, you need to realize work on, the biggest challenge is not going to be technology. It's going to be the resistance, and people would resist the change. Either new work is too much, or what you're asking them to do, they don't know how to do them. Okay. And unfortunately, what I really suspect is that when you organize capacity building, some may not immediately see that it is going to be, without capacity, they won't be able to do the new work. Okay. So these two, okay, building skills and so on. Okay. Then okay, there's the two aspects. Number 7, the two aspects which the participants are more interested is customizing the platform. Yes. Okay. Unfortunately, surprisingly, 0% are interested in learning how to facilitate facilitating communication and collaboration with the online learners. Okay. Because a lot of it is going to be around facilitation. Okay. Tracking, yes, too. And I'm just going to share a bit of how we track the participants. Then there's another one. Participants think the most important factors. Okay. And no person thinks that strong support and guidance to learners is important. Okay, I think in my view, it is one of the most important things. These students, you are going to train them online, would need a lot of support from you. Most participants recommended e-learning as face-to-face. I totally agree with this. Okay. In fact, when you are beginning the training, even with the teachers, with the trainers, we really advise that you should organize a face-to-face orientation first. Okay. You who have gone through the course, you will take them through that orientation the first week, and then online we can take up from there. When you organize for the students, they really need, first of all, either 1 week or 3 days of face-to-face training. You troubleshoot, everybody make sure they can talk to one another, and so on and so on. The biggest expectation is to gain a comprehensive knowledge and understanding. I totally agree. But how would, okay, for you to gain this comprehensive knowledge and understanding, it is not going to be through a conference room. Okay. It has to be hands-on. Okay. And good enough, most of you indicated that yes, and most of you are from the TVET area, and TVET area is competency based. Richard, there's some difference between competency of a Y and competence of E. Okay. The one you are talking about was the one which ends with E. Okay. But these people's competence is a Y. And this course is competency based, which is a Y. We want you to drive, okay, the track. So the only way you can gain comprehensive knowledge of this is to do all of the activities, is to ask all of the questions and so on, to drive the course yourself. Okay. Now, before I get to just what we need, what we have to do, I just want to give you an idea of how the tracking is done within the course. And I also want you as the leaders to know that this system tracks everyone. It would track the students, it would track the trainers, it would track the facilitators. Okay. And you get a lot of resistance when the system is tracking everything you are doing. Okay. I just want to share with you that in Uganda, our Uganda Revenue Authority, okay, the tax collector, introduced a system to manage their tax collection. Okay? But within okay, it has to do with electronic receipting. Okay, that yes, you have you're a trader, you must have a point of sale terminal which is integrated with the revenue authority. Whatever you sell must be through that system. Okay, so that even if you sell a bottle of water, they get to know that you have sold a bottle of water at this amount, and then they calculate their tax and so on. Okay. Currently, we are having a strike by traders. Okay. They want to meet the president and they are saying, we don't want this system. We don't understand it. But one of the issues, it is a new, some are calling it a new tax, but one of the things, it is too transparent. It is tracking so much. Okay. So even when you look at this, and I'm just going to get into this course and I give you an idea of what this system is tracking. Okay. And I wouldn't want to take the trainer through it before you, you as the top people, get to know that it tracks so much, it really ignores too much. Okay. And some may oppose the system simply because, oh, she's even knowing what I'm doing, what I have done, whatever. So let me just give you some insight. Okay. So when I go to the course participants, let me go to the course participants here. And I just want to choose, let me choose 3 of them. Just for the sake of okay. So yeah, I'm going to choose Samuel just for the sake of illustration. I would choose Samuel. Then I would choose one of the 4 facilitators. I would choose Richard. Then I'm going to choose myself. Okay, because even it tracks exactly what I do on this platform. Okay, so if I pick Samuel, let me pick Samuel here. Right. So up here, it hasn't said much about Samuel. Okay. So it means when Samuel was filling that form, okay, for registration, he left the description bit blank. Okay. And one of the activities we have in this session, each one of us is going to edit our profiles. Okay. So let me leave that. Let me see what reports is the system making on Samuel. Okay. I tried to see today's logs. So far, Samuel hasn't logged into this platform today. Let me get back here, pick something else. Let me try to see, to receive a report, complete report about him. Right? So I can see forum announcements, no post. Of course, you can't post in the forum. Forum is only for participants. Then he had he introduced within the platform that is what this is what he received, and so on. Feedback, okay. Beginning of course survey. He completed it on Sunday, 13th, at that time, Sunday, 13th April, whatever, 2:30 p.m. The book, he viewed the book 12 times. Most recently was on Saturday, 13th at 5:19 p.m. Orientation, okay. The learning, okay, there was an learning resource, he viewed it 3 times, most recently at that. Did he complete the journal? Okay, the journal, yes, he indicated there. Of course, the activities hasn't done here yet. Okay. The log, let me check. All logs. Right, the first time he did it was on Saturday. He logged in, was on Saturday. Okay, and Samuel communicated to me that I think he was off when the course started, but he came on Saturday and did his activities. Okay, so I can track even what he did at what time, and so on and so on and so on. The system tracks everybody at what time. Okay, at this time, this is what he did, this is what he saw, this is what he completed, and so on. Let me go to another person. Okay. I'm going to pick facilitator Chole. Okay, Chole made, okay, Chole, this is what Chole wrote in his profile. So he completed that. Log activity, okay. I can know, okay, the last time he logged in, maybe let me go to the report and say today. Right. Today, Chole, okay, logged into this system at 5 a.m. Okay, I can know what he did today, what he looked at, okay, what he viewed. If he posted anything, I would still know. I can get a complete report from here. Okay, I have a report of all the posts Wiki has made, the replies has made, and so on. Okay, so I can track his productivity. Okay, so this system, as I say, you can track the productivity of all the facilitators. Let me look at myself. Okay, participant. Okay, right, participant here. Let me track Daniel, who is the lead facilitator. What is he doing in this platform? Okay, I can see his profile. I can go to the details. Okay, let me go to the login activity, sorry, to the reports. Okay. Let me look at all login logs. Okay. So I can see the dates when he logged in. Okay, I can see he has about 43. I know on this page. What he's doing. I hope you can have a sense of, I just wanted you to have a sense of one, if the one who is going to lead them, the lead facilitator, the facilitators, you as the overall coordinator for the center, you can track everyone and what these people are doing, what they did, and so on, and track their productivity. Okay. Now, when you get to know too much about the participants, they may resist the system. Like as I said, they are resisting. The traders are resisting our revenue authority system, and they are on strike. I think now they have said for 5 days until they meet the president. Okay. So before I get into the activities for just the coming week, just to give you an overview, I just want your feedback on the demonstration week I have done, and also what you think are going to be some of the implications and the things which Young Africa, which your centers have to think over in this change management as you try to transition from as you try to introduce this e-learning initiative. Okay. Technology is very clear. It can be solved and it is the easiest, but there are so many unhidden, unexpected challenges you may face, and you need to work on them head on. So back to you. Anybody from that side? Honest, do you have something? Mose handling? Noraid? Caroline? Joshua? Kim Yan? Anyone?
Okay, what I think is that change is always not easy to embrace. So definitely it will take some time for people to actually get this done, and also to know that it might be double work for them because the trainers have to manage the physical students, and also now they have to manage maybe over 100 students on the platform. So it might also be challenging for them to do that within a specific given time. But I'm sure it's easier for anyone to follow. It's easier for anyone to track how their students are doing, whether a student is following the course, and also if they are doing everything they're supposed to do properly. So that's what I feel. I feel in a way it's also good that this can be implemented, and also it just needs buy-in from everyone, from Young Africa, to say this is what we are now doing, this is where we are migrating to. We have to work with the physical students, we also have to work with the online students as well. So that's what I think.
Okay. Any other? We have about 15 more minutes left, so please, if you have a comment, what has come to your mind, please share it. And then we look at the last bit of what are our activities for next week. Please share whatever has come to your mind.
Sorry, for me, I didn't get really the question, what you are asking for, because I think my network had cut at some point, so I wasn't getting anything. So I was trying to find out what you're trying to ask.
Okay. Now that is now a long process. Okay. I don't know when your network went off. Okay. But I was just saying from some of the things we have talked of, okay? And you can just reflect on what has come to your mind from up to the point when your network became unstable.
Great. I think for me, one of the feedback I would give is, of course, not so familiar with the online platform, but of course, kind of learning now and trying to get acquainted to it. But the other thing that I noticed is like on the other things that we were supposed to give feedback for. Um, I don't know whether we are supposed to know what the feedback is, or it automatically just comes direct when you respond, it automatically it's loaded, or is it that every time you actually respond to something, you'll have to post it so that it can go into the database. That's something that I didn't really get, but otherwise, from your explanation, I think it's something that we'll try to learn. Personally, I will try to learn and just get to understand on how best I can improve it. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. And I think that is why this is a capacity building workshop, because capacity building is far much more than training. So as we move forward, yes, whatever is not clear to you, you can either send to me an email, okay? An email using my email, you can put it in the, where you see that area where you have reflective entry, okay? We always read that area. Whatever challenge you are getting, you can just add it there, okay? If you need more assistance, and then we'll follow that one up. Okay.
Thank you.
Anything, anybody else?
Can I say something, Daniel?
Otherwise, I just want to use first of all, the remaining 10 minutes, because you have 10 minutes left, to give a view of what they are supposed to do. But if you can take one out of the 10, 1 minute, there's no problem. Surely,
All
would
right,
1 minute be enough for you?
It's enough. It's really enough. For me,
Okay, fine.
the keyword for me is tracking. The ability to track progress, to track, maybe I can even call the learning behavior of a participant. I'm saying that in the background of things like WhatsApp, where we think you may not actually be able to track somebody as well as this, but this gives a very good record so that as a facilitator, you're able to actually support somebody with a very good background of what somebody's maybe weaknesses are, somebody's strengths are, and so on and so forth.
Let me use the 10 minutes week we have just to indicate what work we are supposed to be doing this week. Okay. I'm sorry, I had gone off. So, work for this week. Okay, so for the orientation, we had these activities. One thing I noticed that most of you were concentrating up here, but for every week, there's what we call the learning resource, okay? So it is important for you, for instance, like last week, if you clicked on this learning resource, most of you did not, and there's no problem, you are new to the platform, okay? Within the learning resource, you get quite a number of things. For instance, here, self-introduction, there was quite a lot of, why are you introducing yourself? Okay, what are some of the tips on self-introduction? There were things like, okay, that one is missing. The review, okay, and so on and so on. About the reflective journal. So one of the things now you can do, let's get back here into the course. When you get into the work for last week, like the forums are locked. For me, sorry. They are locked. You can view what was there, but you can't add anything. They have been locked. Okay. I have left one thing which is still, because most of you hadn't done the reflective activity for the orientation. That one is still open. Week activity is this one, reflective journal, where you are reflecting on your initial course engagement. And when you check the to-do, you have to view it, but you also have to receive a grade, okay? So you will have to, within this course, you are tracking your grades, and you can also track them, see them, okay? I don't want you to end up with the course when the system is saying you haven't completed the work or you have no grades. Then you want to know how to track the students' grades. Okay, so this activity, you read, and then you can add your journal entry. In fact, you are supposed to reflect at the end of the week. The week ended on Sunday. So this is the right time for you to reflect on the previous work. Then the work for this week starts from here. We are on module 1, okay? Module 1 is introduction to the e-learning platform, and we are going to do it for week 2 and week 3, okay? Now, week 2 is this one. Week started yesterday and ends on Monday, okay? Next week. Now, in your case, you won't see these activities for next week, okay? You can see hidden from the students. For me, I can see them, but for you, you won't see them. So for you, you would see module 1, this resource, learning resource. You will see this, navigating the transition to e-learning at Young Africa. You would see this. you'll only see up to this point, okay? What I want you to do, you go under here, module 1, where you see module 1, introduction to learning resource. And there, everything is written, okay? You just need to know how to navigate here. I want you to take care of these buttons here. There are 3 white buttons, okay? When you click on them, that menu goes away. The menu was here. When you click here, it gets back. Okay, so that is how you are going to navigate this, but you can also navigate by using these arrows. Page, you go to the next page, go to the next page, but that may take you too long. Okay, so you will read, and this is self-reading. What are the outcomes for this week? What are the units within this module? And in the first week, we are only going to cover this module alone. Okay, in that module, you get here, there's some work around understanding, some reading material around understanding e-learning. Around the benefits of e-learning. Okay, of course, it's really just giving you some starting point. We talk about some of the features of the e-learning platform. Okay. Then there's a discussion forum here. Okay. So you would see the details of what you are supposed to discuss. Okay. In fact, you are supposed to discuss how young Africa is going to to transit into e-learning, the e-learning journey. Okay. So your discussions around navigating, how are you going to navigate the transition to e-learning at Young Africa? We have given you some discussion points, okay? Things you should look at, okay? Then how you are going to post. Then when you click on this link, it will take you to where that discussion is. So where you are going to post your discussion, you would add your post and so on. Okay, let me get back here. Okay, when you get back here to the learning resource, no, learning, not that one. It was supposed to be learning resource for, I may have to lock the other one, okay? Otherwise, some will go to learning resource for orientation. Okay, we hide some of the things so that the learners don't go to the wrong place. So I will hide and only leave this one. Okay. One of the most important things within this course, or when we are training the students, we are going to use a lot of instructional videos. So okay. There's some bit here. We have given some bit. We have also given some examples of some of the instructional videos. You can click on these links and go there. But after that, you have an activity, a practical assignment. That practical assignment is you would search some of the instructional videos on the YouTube you think are useful to your area, and then you follow the practical activity. Okay. Then I think it doesn't go much beyond that point. Hey, this practical activity and something else. No, there's not this one down. There's a discussion forum here, okay? And then we are going to stop around. You will reflect for that week, okay? So most importantly, I'm saying I'm going to hide away everything you don't need, okay? and only leave what you need for this week. Okay. So when you go to your bit, you will see module 2, you will see this one where you can read. Then you do this, this, and this. I want to stop at that point, unless if you have a question, I want us to call it off. Hello? Any question? Or when a question arises, okay, when you are doing the work, you know how to communicate back. You can just go in, even in your reflective entry, and add it there. We'll read it.
So
Any sure.
My just clarification. So for
Yes.
this week, we are just looking at those three, like the reflection and then the two tasks that we are given for this week. That's what we are doing this week.
Yes. Okay. This week, I think there are two tasks. Okay, and the tasks are in the forum. Okay. Maybe let me just log in using my student account. Okay, so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, which is similar to what you are going to see. Okay. Just give me to just get out here. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just logging in as a student.
Oh, no problem.
Sorry. So that you can exactly see, okay, what you are going to see in your course. Okay, so when you log into the course, this is what you are going to see, okay? And I have said this one, I'm going to remove it, okay? So that you don't have any confusion of going here, okay? I'm going to remove that. That one, you won't see it. I'm going to leave this, the reflective journal entry, okay? Because you reflect at the end of the week. The week has just ended, okay? Or you can reflect earlier. Some of you can, if you complete, this is a self-paced course. If you complete your work by Friday, you can do your reflection, okay? So basically, you would see this one, but the other things you would see are these, okay? This learning resource is giving you more information about what you are supposed to do, why are you doing it, and so on. Here, you just go to submit your assignments, okay? But here, you go here for reading, okay? So you can read more details about. Okay, some of you who are busy, okay, who are busy and say, I want to download, I want to have internet connection at this point, I want to download this material. You can download it, okay? When you click on this link, it will download, whether you are, what I have written here, okay? When you click on this, it will download it, either on your laptop or on your phone and so on, so that you can read offline. Then when you get back, so I have said we are only going to go up to where you see reflective journal. That is reflective journal for unit 1. We are only going to do unit 1, okay? So a lot of the reading is here, okay? And explanations and so on. Then the activities, where you do the activities would be, even within this resource we have put, for instance, here, discussion. When you go down and click on this link, it will take you to where that discussion is. But also you can see it from the course page. Sorry. From the course page, like Honest, you are asking, there are only 4 things. Okay, there are 5 things. Finish off the reflective journal. I saw that Honest, you put 1 line for some reason. Okay. But I would send you the Portuguese instructions. Okay. So some of you need to edit, others need to add it there. Here is reading material. Okay. And if you check here, what are you supposed to do here? You are supposed to view. Okay. But it also says receive a grade. The grade is not for this week. Okay. It is for next week. Then you do this activity. This activity, what are you required to do? 2 things. 1, you would have to start a discussion and also to reply to 2 people. Then you also do this and end up by doing this activity. Is that fine?
That's okay.
Okay. If there are no other questions, Irene, do you have a last words? Oh, Irene is off. Okay. So I just want to thank you for attending this live check-in.